Hi everyone, welcome to Raise to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite-sized wisdom nuggets with easy-to-follow practices to live a better life. Raise to Rise podcast is supported by Ayurvedic Seva. Ayurvedic Seva is an herbal dietary supplement line set out to change the industry by dedicating the company to quality, safety, and holistic approach on making the wellness journey safe, healthy, and natural. If you want to start adding some natural herbs in your life, then head over to ayurvedicseva.com and use our promo code Raise to Rise for 30% discount. Once again, it's ayurvedicseva.com and use our promo code Raise to Rise for 30% discount. I am your host, Mital Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living. Thank you. I really appreciate, Bridget, that you showed up, dedicating your time for our show, and I'm sure everybody's so excited to hear you. So if you don't mind, could you please introduce yourself to my listeners?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me, first of all. It's really so beautiful how we've come back full circle from
So
when
funny.
we met last year.
Yes.
So my name is Bridget, as you mentioned, and I am a speaker. I am a coach. I host and facilitate workshops and women's circles, both locally and in the New Jersey area, as well as online.
Wow.
So I like to call myself a human helper, because sometimes it's hard to label yourself.
For sure. And then it's what matters is what you're providing, what you're giving, not the label that we put it and what the society decide for us. So I love how you have a human helper, and I mean that's all we can do to for humanity, to help each other out. Whatever we learn, we share, and that's how we can all grow together. So I really like that, and yeah, I love that label that you have given to yourself. That's amazing. But virtual circles, right? You said virtual circles. So how does that work? Like, how do you do virtual circles?
So I actually do virtual circles on Zoom, just how we are communicating.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Right now. And my belief is that energy passes all time and space. So even though we're not in a physical location, if our intention is there to, create this circle in this space and we're all in there together, you can feel the energy. And they're really profound and quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Even though we're online, and I wish I could hug the people, but
So do you do like a group?
Face.
Is it like a group call? That's amazing. That is amazing. It's like a sacred space then, like when you all are together sharing the energy. That's beautiful. That's amazing. I think I want to join the next circle then. I've never been to any circles before, but that will be something next that I can maybe, give it a shot. Like, I am a go-getter and I love to learn something new. So that's amazing that you brought that up. As far as I know, apart from your virtual circles, I also have seen you chanting mantras. I've seen you talk about Kundalini yogas. Could you share something? I have never done any, like, just a Surya Namaskar is the only boundary for me when it comes to yoga. Or recently I've learned about the yogas for my eyes, because I have been getting a lot of styes. So that's where I learned through my Ayurvedic teaching, and so I just do that. But Kundalini sounds difficult to me. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes the word Kundalini sounds a little scary, but essentially just means energy. And Kundalini is the yoga of awareness. So we use mantra, which is like the sound code, different sounds. We use breath, like pranayama practices, movement, mudras, so hand gestures, and kind of combined all together to make what's called kriyas. And kriyas are the set of specific movements, postures, breathing techniques, mantras to elicit a certain outcome. So it's really scientific. And being someone who's practiced yoga for a number of years, mostly hatha yoga and vinyasa, which is more like Surya Namaskar, I feel such profound effects from Kundalini yoga. It's a deeper level of awareness within.
That's amazing. How long you been practicing for?
I've been practicing Kundalini for about 2 years. I've been teaching yoga for 3 and practicing all types for about 6 to 8 years.
That's amazing. And it's all about union. It's all about unity. So that's amazing work. And
Yeah.
does that help you with your circles that you do? Do you share your mudras and chanting during the circles too?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big believer in the practice of breath, and I love the practice of mantra because these are so simple. Like, they're already within us. You know, we
Right.
don't need to go too far. We don't need to go anywhere to buy anything or do
For
anything.
sure.
We can
For
simply
sure.
connect with the breath. So during the circles and workshops, I normally help us drop into the body using breath, and then maybe we'll do a mantra meditation or whatever the space kind of needs,
That's
kind of gauge
amazing.
it.
It's all unique, and like you said, whatever the space needs or wants at that time. So it just comes like instantly. That's amazing. I I love how, so you've been teaching as well for 3 years. What makes you feel inspired to show up in the world for yourself and for others? Because yoga is not just for yourself awareness, but it's also spreading the awareness, right? Like you're teaching others. So
Mm-hmm.
what makes you feel inspired to do that?
Mm. I will say, when I first began teaching yoga, I was very much in my own mind.
Mm,
And it was really about me. But since I have progressed in my teaching and my own practices, I learn I'm just the vessel, right? I'm the vessel for the greater message.
right.
So when I take myself and I step back, it's like, okay, I'm here to serve, right? I'm
Right.
the vessel, I'm the channel to serve,
And then
just like you are right now.
you instrument. Like
Exactly.
we're just an instrument. And
Yes.
our purpose is to channel
Yes.
the goodness the universe has, and then just spread it like a light, beam of light. That's
Exactly.
amazing. I love
Yeah.
that. If so, you said you've been only practicing for 3 years, and I love that you're doing such a great work to help and being a human helper. But if you could turn back the time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell her? How would
Mm.
you go about?
Young Bridget, I would probably say keep doing it. I don't regret anything on my path. I truly, truly believe that everything was placed in front of me for a reason. And
For
I
sure.
look back now and I can see how everything was perfectly aligned. Like, every obstacle, every opportunity, every choice I made was perfectly aligned. So I would tell young Bridget, just keep going,
Just keep
keep
going.
going, keep
That's
going.
amazing. That is normally when you ask someone, or I mean, when I sometime I said, recently I asked myself, what would I tell a 16-year-old me?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, 'cause, same thing, because I went through a lot of trauma, the childhood bullying and stuff like that. And I would
Mm-hmm.
say, and I said to myself, just keep doing what you're doing. That's the best advice we can give it to
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, because you don't want to judge your past, because that's what made you who you are today. So
Mm-hmm.
I love your advice. And
Mm-hmm.
listeners out there, whoever's listening to us right now,
Mm-hmm.
I would also encourage everybody to say that to your, the younger self, and talk to yourself and tell that
Mm.
whatever choices that you made is what made you who you are
Yeah.
today. So be proud of yourself for, doing all the work and being in the space that you are.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that.
And
I
even one more thing to add, sometimes I only understand my life now when I look back and start to put the pieces together,
that
you
is
know?
that is the best thing, like how Steve Jobs said, right?
Right,
We can
right.
only connect the dots looking back.
Looking
Like, there's
backwards.
no way you can connect the dots like you're looking in the future. Nothing's gonna make sense to you. You have to turn around and look back, and you just connect your dots. That's amazing. It's
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you. I really appreciate for bringing that up and sharing that.
Of course.
I have, with your yoga work, with your every other work that you're doing, I've also seen you talk about Ayurveda, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how we met last year at Sarah's
Yes.
event, right? Ayurveda, and so, and you've also done workshops,
Mm-hmm.
correct? If I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you share a little bit about the journey that you did through Ayurveda?
Sure. So, Really, my entrance into all of the work that I do now was a health issue. I was dealing with Lyme disease for about 5 years, and a lot of infections in my body. And I was very young. I was like 15 or 16 at the time.
Oh,
So it was very challenging for
that was
me.
tough.
And a lot of the Western doctors wanted to help, but I was just getting put on rounds and rounds of antibiotics. So we know what happens. My gut was completely depleted. I was dealing with a lot of, my immune system was depressed, just a lot of weird things going on. So I was like, I got to figure this out on my own. Like, I can't cry in the doctor's office anymore, to be honest.
Right. No.
And I just started doing my own research. And one of the things I found was like the doshas. I was like, this is cool. It's like a little quiz about
Right.
my life, but also health and how food affects your mind. And I think just seeing that was, okay, there's the puzzle pieces were starting to come together. It's not just like I am sick. It's like I can do things to help heal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I entered the door to
Wow.
Ayurveda. And then it just continued. When I
So
did my
you
yoga.
take any professional, did you meet, like, did you see any Ayurvedic practitioner? Did you go take the professional cares? That's amazing.
I actually didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I did my teacher training at a yoga and Ayurveda school. So that was where I continued studying Ayurveda. And I've just done a lot of self-study, to be completely honest.
And just heal yourself from the work and study and stuff.
Keep going.
That's amazing.
Exactly. I would love to find Ayurvedic practitioners in the area too. I mean, I know you're in New Jersey.
I will definitely share, because
Yeah.
I normally don't share that, but my husband suffered from depression. And matter of fact, last year or a year and a half ago, we did complete, the therapy, Abhyangas and all the panchakarmas for him.
Oh, wow.
And it worked great for us. It did miracles for us, and he doesn't have to take antidepressants anymore. It's a magic pill, I think. So yeah, I'll definitely share with you. While you're talking about, since you mentioned about your health issues and how Ayurveda helped, if you have to, or if you can do anything to improve health and healthcare in our society in America currently, what would you do?
There's so many things. Right? Okay, very, very simply, I would have more people just to eat real food. Like eat full, like whole food, plant-based, maybe a little bit of meat here and there, but mostly whole foods, and to understand that what you're putting in your body is who you are.
It's that simple. It is so simple. Like, we just need to understand what we're eating. That's all. Like, can my body handle this? How am I feeling after eating an apple, or how am I feeling after, like, having the smoothie? That is all we have to watch. And if we start looking at that, like, oh my God.
And most of us are like numb to understanding that food affects us, right? Like, we kind of just eat. We're not saying, okay, I'm eating this apple, which, okay, where did that come from? That came from a tree, maybe not even conscious. In my area.
Exactly. We're just not being, there's just no awareness. We're so fixated with our mindset, and everything's just on an auto mode. So we're just, just going whatever the life takes us. It's 8 a.m., 9 p.m., whatever our routine, and that's it. We're just like a bicycle. We're just going around and around.
It's like the hamster wheel.
Exactly.
I think that's the analogy. You're just going and going and going.
We're just going.
No awareness. So I think awareness and connection to food, and that it affects your body. And when you start to realize that, especially like through the lens of Ayurveda, you'll know that that's going to affect your mind. That's going to affect you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. All the koshas, it's so
deep. It's super deep, yet it's so simple.
Yes, exactly.
If we start practicing, it's just so simple, but we don't realize to even think about that, or to even go into there. Love that. I love that advice. And hopefully everybody just listening out there, and everyone in this world, even if they get this awareness of having the connection, like you said, with their food that we eat, That's all we need.
Yeah.
Just the awareness and the connection. So sending all these infinite blessings to everyone out there, and hope they all get this awareness, and we all can heal ourselves.
Exactly.
Look, so thank you. I really appreciate that you shared about the awareness and the connection with the food. One more thing before I forget, that I just thought, can you share about your current projects? And because I recently came across, what is that? The magic momentum?
Oh, yes.
Is it right? Did I say it right?
Magnetic momentum.
Magnetic momentum. There you go. Can you share more? I was so fascinated. I think I was watching your stories, and I was fascinated. Can you share a little bit about that with everyone out here?
Yes. Yeah. So some of my work is in energetics, understanding frequency, understanding universal laws and how they affect us, and how everything is energy, right? Mm-hmm. So the concept of magnetic momentum, it's simply that everything is energy, right. That's who we are. So we have control of our lives. And what that means is our thoughts, our words, our actions. Mm-hmm. We have control. We are in the driver's seat. Now, the more and more that we choose to maybe circulate on a certain mental loop, say our mental loop is, I can't, guess what? The momentum is going to bring you towards more I can't situations where you're feeling unworthy. Makes sense. Your words are, I am an incredible speaker, I'm an incredible teacher, I have an incredible podcast that attracts millions of people, and that is what you speak to the world, that is what you speak to yourself. Guess what? The momentum is going to bring you towards more of those opportunities that are exactly that, right? Probably just how this got started.
It's like, yeah. So it's like my words are making my world.
Yes. Your words create your reality. Yeah. The sound creates.
I love that. When I read that term, and when I heard you say that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so magical. And the way you said it too. So here, I'm going to be really frank and tell you that I listen to all your stories, and you have that tone. It just soothing voice. It just calms you down, and it makes me just listen to you all the time, listen to your story over and over. So thank you for all the work that you do. Like it's amazing how you're creating the world, and how you're creating the community that you're building.
Yeah,
that is amazing. I love that. Is there anything that you want to share with the listeners, where you have a current project going on, where they can find you, how they can connect with you?
Sure. There's so many things happening in my life. A lot of magnetic momentum in the direction I want to be
That's
going.
it.
Seriously. So again, with magnetic momentum, your actions are also what's going to bring you more of what either you want in your life or what you don't want. Right. So the actions I've been taking are the things I want in my life. So current things going on that people can reach me or find me doing. I am hosting another virtual women's circle in December. So I'd love to have you there.
Yes.
Anyone who's listening, and of course you as well. And that's going to be called The True You. So it's really tapping into who you really are at the core of your being, what you came into this world with gifts. You are perfect and whole as is. And we just have to remember that. Mm-hmm. So coming back to that place in that virtual circle is December 3rd. So I'd love to have anyone there. Is anyone maybe local as well? I live in New Jersey, so I have a circle coming up.
So you're doing an on-site, like a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a self-love women's circle this Saturday in Hackettstown. I'm not sure how far that is from you.
Oh, I'll make it.
Right. So lots of things coming up. I also host and facilitate workshops in person as well. So lots of those happening, and I will be launching a group coaching experience next month or so. Yeah, I'm so excited.
So excited, yes. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot going on, and so like you said, the momentum is going. So keep at it. Sending you lots of blessings, and I'll be right there, just around the corner to support you and be there with you. So that because you're doing such a wonderful job. And wonderful work that you're sharing with everyone.
So are you.
Thank you. Is there anything I should have asked but I didn't? that you would want to share? Any advice?
Let's all just close our eyes for a moment. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, but let's just take a moment to just tune in with our breath and just take a moment, closing down the eyes, relaxing your shoulders down the back. Maybe it's the first time today you've had this time to just connect inward, to soften your jaw and your face. Relax your hands. We'll just take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. And just do it one more time. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe just staying in this space for another moment, knowing that this place is always accessible to you. You are never without your breath. Beautiful. And you can open your eyes and come back into life.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate. I'm a very chatty person, and when I get this just a minute of silence to myself, it just, it just calms me down.
Yeah.
Brings me to that space, like you said. Yes, the space is accessible.
Yeah.
And
the more and more you go there, the more and more that becomes your space.
Yes.
And you're able to come back to that space quicker and quicker and quicker. Yeah. Right? And then it becomes your neutral. You're neutral. It's just where you operate from.
Yep.
It feels good.
Yes, it definitely feels good. Thank you. I really appreciate.
You're welcome.
Before I let you go, I have a very last question that I ask every guest. If you were a type of a food, what would you be and why?
Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
That's my son's favorite question, so I have to put it out there.
That's so cute. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, I love sweet potato. I love sweet potato. And I think my reason would be that I could have it either savory or I could have it sweet. So, maybe with dinner I could have it, or I could have it with like almond butter and cinnamon.
That is
as
so
a dessert.
Cool. That is so cool. So you can have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime you want it. Oh my God, that's a unique one. That's a really unique way to think about sweet potato. Normally, when it comes to sweet potato, I think it's a root vegetable.
Yeah.
Because I have a very
Vata.
I'm a chatty. So I need to ground myself. So I need my sweet potato. So that's the only reason I would go with sweet potato. But love that how you said. Thank you. I really appreciate. Thank you for dedicating the time and just showing up on our show and sharing your wisdom and your time and your energy, first of all, with my listeners. So thank you. Really appreciate. So grateful to have you here.
You're so welcome. Thanks for everyone for listening and tuning in and sharing this space.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Raise to Rise podcast. We would absolutely love to hear your thoughts about today's episode. Please let me know you have listened to this episode and fill me with your aha moment. Share it on Instagram, tag me with #RaiseToRise or @RaiseToRise, and I would love to share those to my stories and shout you out there. I would also love if you can subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It's our brand new podcast launch, and we have some bonus giveaways going on for the top raters and reviewers. Also, I would love to send you my 7-day parenting journal absolutely for free. All you gotta do is leave me a review in the iTunes store, take a screenshot, and email it over at raisetorisepodcast@gmail.com. Again, take a screenshot of the review and email me at raisetorisepodcast@gmail.com, and I will send you the 7-day parenting journal absolutely for free. Thank you so much for being the active listener of this podcast. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for raising your consciousness and rising as joyful beings.